A little sidebar is I'm going to give you an alternate software that you can use, as Adobe Animate currently only offers a 7-day free trial where I will give you an option to download Macromedia Flash 8, which will give you a 30-day free trial, which will give you a lot more time to string along with the lessons. And I will give you an option to download Macromedia Flash 8, which will give you a 30-day free trial, which will give you a lot more time to string along with the lessons. And the software is basically identical. It's just Adobe Animate has all the brand new features and is probably close to 8 years newer. What we're going to type in first is Adobe Animate and hit go. Skip the sponsored ad, go straight to 2D animation software. Okay, you'll come to the Adobe website. This is for Adobe Animate only. We're going to click on free trial. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing, but I'm going to explain everything for you. We are an individual, though you might be a student or teacher, and you can get a discounted price. Now, this is completely up to you. You can either pay, if you do plan on buying Adobe Animate, it will cost you whatever it says over here. Depending on what country you're from, they have different prices. However, I am going to say individual because I'm not a student. I'm a teacher. I'm teaching right now. And we'll just click continue. Don't add any of this. We're just going to go down to monthly. I guess if you go annual, gives you a longer free trial. Anyway, we're going to go monthly. I don't want to mess with that too much. No, thank you. Right here, it's just going to try to upsell you some stuff. So just ignore that unless you really want it. Things to pay attention to. Due now. $0. It should say $0. Do not pay money. It says 7 days free trial ends and it's going to charge me $54 a month. Blah! I ain't paying that. I think I already do. Let's be honest. But I'm not going to pay it twice. I do use this software every day and I do, make a living from it. So there's no problem there. Billing automatically starts after the free trial ends. Pay attention to this. Cancel before April 25th, as I'm recording on the 18th of April right now, to avoid getting billed. Beautiful. Continue. 7-day free trial. Pay attention. Pay attention. Read. Take your time. Put in your email address. Now, what's my email address? I can make up an email address. I'm going to go free trial at samgreenmedia.com. And then I'm going to click continue. Do not check this unless you want marketing. Completely up to you. Then you chuck in your credit card details or your PayPal details. This is where I'm going to blur or skip this part. Might go PayPal. Let's see how we go. All right. We want to agree and subscribe. Now, don't fret. I will show you how to cancel this subscription immediately after you agree to it, and you will still have the 7-day free trial. All right. So what you want to do is, first of all, create a password. Type in your password. Must contain all of that crap. And I want to go complete account. Now, I already have the Creative Cloud installed, but what I want to do here is just download the installer separately. So I'm going to hit cancel on that. And we downloaded the installer in a previous attempt of recording, but we'll do it again. Beautiful. We've got it. Now, before we go and install anything, what I want you to do is go to New Tab. Adobe Animate. We're going to go back to our website and we should be logged in. Okay. If you're not logged in, log in with the email you use and the password you created. We want to go manage account. This is super important. Otherwise, you will get a nasty bill in 7 days. Now, we want to go to payment plans. We want to go plans. We want to go to manage plan. And then we want to go cancel your free trial. Please. I'm poor. Unless you've got lots of money, then, you can donate to a charity like Sam Green Media or something. And it will try to keep you. It's like, hey, your free trial's not ended yet, but if you cancel, here's what to expect. And so you can still have your 7 days, which is great. You'll no longer be able to access this stuff once it's gone. Fine. Oh no, 100 gig to 5 gig, that's fine. You can say it's too expensive. My free trial ended. Okay, so your plan details is currently commitment to that. I am no longer committing. And they do try to, hold you in place, and they go, oh, you sure? And I say, no thanks. So no thanks. See, it's tempting, isn't it? Sam, before you decide to cancel, consider these offers. They really do try to hold you. So because I chose the big bundle, they've already offered me a cheaper rate. Save now by switching to Animate from your current plan from $54 down to $36. Wild that they do that. Okay. But it is an option. Now, you can try to talk to someone. This is probably a good idea if you want to start the chat and just say, hey, I'm just learning animation for the first time. They might offer you an extended free trial. But again, it won't cancel your current subscription, so you'll have to go and do that eventually anyway, unless you do plan on sticking around and paying. Right now, we're not going to follow any of these options, but I have used them in the past and they do work. I have saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars by just attempting to cancel my subscription and them offering me a counter offer of a cheaper subscription. I have also chatted with these guys before and attempted to get sponsorships, but no luck. All right, so no thanks. I'll see ya later. And once again, confirm cancellation. This one's in red. This is the real deal. Finally, we have cancelled our subscription. I'm just making sure I'm saving you guys any nasty surprises. Okay, so it's all cancelled there. Beautiful. Your subscription has been cancelled, Sam. Thank you very much, Adobe. I'll see ya. I already have an account with you guys anyway, so I don't feel bad at all. Right, so do you remember downloading Adobe Animate? Yes, you do? Okay, cool. It's right here. It just says animate_setup.exe. What this will do is open up a Creative Cloud, I guess. It won't bring up Animate straight away. Now, you should have, under your apps, if you do have Creative Cloud, it might need to download that. But these are all the apps that I have installed right now. And it's just recently updated, where I have an older version of Adobe Animate here and the newer version. It will all install. You can probably work out that yourself. No dramas, no worries. And then you just go open. And that's what you'll get here. Okay? This is Adobe Animate. This is where lesson 1 will start. Okay? Really, really straightforward. Simple stuff. Well done. You did it. Now, bonus lesson for those of you that want an extended free trial. But yeah, we're going to download Macromedia Flash 8. Again, just Google Macromedia Flash 8. Then this one here from Softonic. Go to their website. They're going to want you to have ads. No thanks. I don't like ads. And you just want to click on download here. Okay, it's just a trial. It is a trial version. Okay, so this is all completely legit. No worries. Do not get sucked into Opera GX. Do not click that button. Do not say no thanks. I will continue downloading Macromedia Flash 8. Guys, I can't reiterate this enough. Read. Just read. Okay, a lot of people see the big green buttons and stuff. Just don't click them. Okay, read. No thanks. GX, do not lesson for those of you that want an extended free trial. But yeah, we're going to download Macromedia Flash 8. Again, just Google Macromedia Flash 8. Then this one here from Softonic. Go to their website. They're going to want you to have ads. No thanks. I don't like ads. And you just want to click on download here. Okay, it's just a trial. It is a trial version. Okay, so this is all completely legit. No worries. Do not get sucked into Opera GX. Do not click that button. Do not say no thanks. I will continue downloading Macromedia Flash 8. Guys, I can't reiterate this enough. Read. Just read. Okay, a lot of people see the big green buttons and stuff. Just don't click them. Okay, read. No thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. Again, big green button. They try to trick you. They want to give you all that sort of stuff. Test a virus free, apparently. No, it is. It is. I've already downloaded this. It's fine. You can save it in the same spot. Whatever. It's already there. And Bob's your uncle. We're going to install Macromedia Flash 8. Double click yes, ignore. I have had it previously installed. I have just uninstalled it and reinstalling it for your greater purpose. We want to click next. I agree. Next. I want to change the location myself. You can choose the directory of your choosing. Otherwise, just click next. You can create a desktop shortcut or quick launch. Doesn't really matter. Can install Macromedia Flash Player. This will be fun for testing things later. Install. May I just remind you that this is an alternate option, okay? This is the other option. You don't need to do this part unless you want to extend your free trial longer. This requires no email address. It requires no credit cards, and it's just a good option. And I'm going to compare the different programs right now. This screen here is Adobe Animate. This is what all the lessons will be in, okay? Macromedia Flash 8. We want to open this up. I want to try Macromedia Flash 31 days. Beautiful. I'll take it. We'll choose Flash Professional 8 because we are all professionals. And this is Macromedia Flash Professional, okay? I'm going to put these side by side so we can compare the two, okay? Adobe Animate. I'll go New File. This is where Lesson 1 will take off. So if you're sticking with Adobe Animate, again, you can just go straight to Lesson 1. Otherwise, sit tight for a little bit extra. We go New. Width is 1920 by 1080 and the frame rate is 24 frames per second. You can ignore the platform type and click Create. This will give us our first document. Pretty zoomed in there. You got your zoom tool here. Hold Alt if you want to zoom out. Then you've got this Macromedia Flash 8. You want to go File, New. Very similar sort of setup here. Go OK, just a normal Flash document. And its default settings will be 550 by 400. Very, very old school back in the day. You can see the settings down here. Now, kind of looks similar, kind of doesn't. We're going to adjust Macromedia Flash 8 so it matches Adobe Animate. You can see Adobe Animate has a properties here, okay? All the setup is very, very similar. You've got properties here, and down in Macromedia, you've got properties down here. We have our tools to the left. Tools to the left. Timeline down the bottom, timeline at the top. Here's a fun little fact. If you go Windows, Workspaces, and go Classic, look at that. We can even put our properties down the bottom here. Why would you do that? I like newer workspace, the Essentials workspace. So we're just going to match these documents, okay? Sorry if I'm baffling too much. I am just trying to explain everything that needs to be explained. So properties. This is the document properties. This is the document properties. We're changing the dimensions to 1920 by 1080. And we're changing the frame rate from 12 to 24 because we are in 2025. And holding spacebar, you can click and drag your canvas, Z for zoom, hold Alt, zoom out. Wow, they look pretty much identical, right? You've got all your favorite tools down here, which we will go into lesson 2, okay? I'm going to go through all of these tools, but they're the same over here. Arrow tool, arrow tools, okay? Click and hold this one and you can change to the sub-selection. It's just a little bit more neat and compact over at Adobe Animate now. You've got the lassos, the free transforms, the brushes, the erasers, the shapes. So for instance, we'll just go classic brush, choose our color. We will go, we'll just go red, change our color, go red. You can see that this is the stroke color and this is the fill color. When you are using the brush, you are using the fill color. This little line part box here, this is how you choose your line color. So again, we'll go into that lesson 2, not lesson 1. Doesn't matter. We've got the brush tool selected. So what we can do is draw a little picture. Woohoo! Does anyone know who this character is? That's right, SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, and then over here, again, if you have a drawing tablet, you can change your pressure sensitivity. Same thing. What does SpongeBob look like? All right, no worries. We are good to go. And there you have it. So, I'm sorry, the drawings are horrendous. But you can see they're freaking identical, okay? So, again, this program is old. When did it come out? Like years ago. It was like 10 years ago. But it still works the same. You still got your timelines. Again, it's an option for you if you want to, stick with the course and the lessons and, take your time with it instead of jumping all and trying to do it all within 7 days. This is just an option to save you money and save you time. And you will be able to work it out if you have at least a couple of brain cells. What happened to my tools? Why are you over there? Simple, right? it's still modifiable. Easy, easy, easy peasy. All right, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm just trying to look after you guys. This is just a little, insight onto your options. This is a very Adobe Animate intensive course, okay? I'm going to go into all of the details. I will try to remind you if there is something that I'm teaching you that Macromedia Flash Professional 8 doesn't have, but really there's not too much. They are pretty damn similar. It might come different to when we are exporting things. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do my best here. This is an Adobe Animate lesson. So let's see how we go. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. New lessons every week. Lesson 1 should be out right now. It's going to explain the workspace. And basically
This video goes into detail about several animation programs that don't cost any money at all, to use as an alternative to Adobe Flash, which does cost money to use legally. I will be comparing them to Flash and giving my personal review of each of them. First, we have Synfig Studio. Synfig is a 2D animation program that focuses on cutout style animation using the Bone tool. There are actually some people that managed to make a whole short film using this software and other open source software, so it's definitely a powerful program. There's a whole online course available on their website for a donation of $1 or more to learn about all the features. If you're looking to do frame-by-frame animation though, this program is not the best choice for you, which they actually say themselves at the bottom of the page. Next we have Wick Editor. Wick Editor is actually an online animation program that has all the basic features of an animation program, as well as the ability to add code into your animations and make them interactive. They have a code reference page, as well as some example projects, so this would be a good alternative if you're interested in making some simple Flash-style games. Tupi 2D Magic is both an app and a desktop program, and the app has a ridiculous 4.9 stars on the App Store as of now. It's really simple and fairly easy to use and figure out, and it's nice that it gives you a large space to draw instead of crowding the space with buttons. I thought there was no undo button, but it's actually just called the eraser. The desktop program is more advanced, like Flash, but instead of using a timeline, it uses what's called an exposure sheet, which is another way that animators or desktop program is more advanced. advanced like Flash, but instead of using a timeline, it uses what's called an exposure sheet, which is another way that animators organize and plan their frames. It's almost like a vertical timeline. But I did find out that you can enable a horizontal timeline view by clicking here, but it is limited because you cannot extend the length of frames, and there is no distinction to show if the keyframe is empty or not. Other than that, it features all the basic tools as well as some more advanced features like tweening. Although the exposure sheet format might take some getting used to, this program could be all that you need. Animation Desk is a mobile app on iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. This program could be all that you need. Animation Desk is a mobile app on tools as well as some more advanced line. But I did find out that you can enable a horizontal timeline view by clicking here, but it is limited because you cannot extend the length of frames and there is no distinction to show if the keyframe is empty or not. Other than that, it features all the basic tools as well as some more advanced features like tweening. Although the exposure sheet format might take some getting used to, this program could be all that you need. Animation Desk is a mobile app on iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. It functions very much like a painting software with many different types of brushes to play with. The frames function like a storyboard, which can get complicated if your animation is very long. But I found it to be pretty sufficient for experimenting and playing around with animation, especially on the go. Here are some animations I've done with the app in the past. iMotion is not necessarily an alternative to Flash, but it is a cool stop-motion animation app that allows you to make some high-quality stop-motion animation. You can set it to take one photo every few seconds, but I found it to be pretty sufficient for experimenting and playing around with animation, especially on the go. Here are some animations I've done with the app in the past. iMotion is not necessarily an alternative to Flash, but it is a cool stop-motion animation app that allows you to make some high-quality stop-motion animation. You can set it to take one photo every few seconds and do some cool time lapses that way, or take photos manually in order to plan out your animations. You can even use another device as a remote to take pictures from afar. I have played around with this app a lot in the past, using both toys and real people. One tip is to always use the onion skin so you know what the previous frame looks like before taking the next picture. Next we have Pivot Animator, which I didn't think to include on the list until I saw some of the animations people have made using Pivot and how advanced they are. This program has been around since 2004 and its last update was actually in 2016, so it's still relevant. The main point of pivot is being able to manipulate a stick character by rotating its body parts around its pivot points instead of drawing the stick figure each frame. This is good if you struggle with keeping the size of your stick character consistent from frame to frame. However, having each body part stay the same size makes it difficult to do things like squash and stretch, or give the stick figure any kind of 3D perspective. And last but not least is Vectorian Giotto. Vectorian Giotto is probably the closest thing to Flash that you'll find for free. Unfortunately, the developers are no longer putting out updates to the program. In fact, their website is no longer running, so you have to go through third-party websites to download it. However, you can do most of the same things you can do in Flash, like basic drawing, timeline manipulation, symbol creation, motion tweening with easing, customizable keyboard shortcuts, and so on. After using it for a bit, I found a few things that made this different from Flash that stood out to me. All brush strokes have an outline. If you don't want it to have an outline, then you have to go to the shape panel and set it to none. When I'm animating frame by frame in Flash, I usually press F7 to make a new blank keyframe and make the next drawing. Usually the blank keyframe gets put after the current frame, but in this program it pushes the current frame to the side and puts the new keyframe before it. This is annoying because in order to get around this, you have to press Ctrl- to move ahead one frame and then press F7 instead of only having to press F7, but it's not a huge deal. One interesting built-in feature that Flash doesn't have is a library of effects. You can right-click any object and hit Effect and then Add, and then you have a wide array of effects to choose from. Most of these effects seem good for PowerPoint presentation styled animations though. There is an Actions panel, so you can add ActionScript code and make games. I don't know if it's ActionScript 2.0 or 3.0. Another feature that is missing as far as I know is the graphics symbol. They do have movie clip symbols, but a key difference between movie clip symbols and graphic symbols is that graphic symbols will play in the timeline, while movie clips do not play until you export the final product. That's a big drawback for me. There also doesn't seem to be any indicator that shows when you're inside of a symbol